I like that Microsoft are handling things in such a way now that they didn't before. It was pretty obvious that they were pretty much laxed on everything that Sony did, praising Sony and Nintendo at pretty much every turn. And now we see that, hey, all that stuff, all that, you know, in front of the camera talk, not just from Microsoft, but from Sony as well, the, you know, kumbaya stuff, it's all fake. You know, I mean, obviously they're not going to sit there and, you know, Phil's not going to be like, hey, Jim Ryan's a huge douchebag and, you know, we hate him and this kind of stuff. And he doesn't care about gamers and blah, blah. He's not going to do that. He's not going to say that. But at the end of the day, I mean, what's going on behind closed doors, and thanks to all these things leaking out and some of the stuff just being not even leaking but just being available for us to read with our own eyes, it's clear to see that there's no love lost between Microsoft and Sony, and I love it. And this news is very good news for Xbox, and it's not painting Sony in the best light. So yeah, it's going to be very interesting things to see how this happens and to see exactly how Microsoft continues to handle this. So yeah, you know, I can't wait to see what happens, and I'm sure a lot of you are going to be excited to hear about it as well. Hey, what's up everybody? Crap Gamer here with Crap Gamer Reviews. I'm back with another video, of course. Thank you so much for joining me. Please leave a like on the video. I'm looking to get 100 likes on each of these videos, as it helps them to be seen, and of course it helps the channel to grow, and that's what it's all about. And I'm trying to get 100 likes on all of the videos, and again, that's something that I'm asking you guys for. You know, it's a very small goal, but it is a goal nonetheless, and I think it's kind of cool to set these goals as as something to kind of look forward to. So that's pretty much why I do this. And you know, if you were wondering, oh well, why does he set a goal for that? You know, well, now you know. So anyway, we had a little bit of very interesting news today, which is, again, a lot of people are talking about this whole UK government thing with the Activision buyout and things like that. You know, you have the Sony fans not understanding the full ramifications that if Microsoft doesn't buy Activision, that likely relegates Activision stock to junk. They're still in the midst of this terrible situation where developers don't want to work for them. All developers are pretty much stuck working on Call of Duty. You know, you have Kotick running things over there, and just not a good situation. You know, and obviously Microsoft buying them kind of changes things around, but you know, Sony of course doesn't want that to happen, because Sony has you know aspirations. They want to continue to have Call of Duty, and you know, it's just something that I feel like obviously Microsoft and Sony are going about things totally different ways, but I can't say that I agree with Sony with how they're going about this. I feel like they're kind of acting like babies with this. The UK government now is asking for public opinion on Microsoft's Activision Blizzard buyout. So this is basically them saying, we have no idea about how any of this video game stuff works. Please let us know what you think. A week after releasing its issue statement, the UK regulator calls on the public to share its views regarding Microsoft Activision acquisition. The regulator called on the public for their opinions regarding the acquisition, and the merger has been in the spotlight recently as governments across the world have begun to vocalize judgments on how Microsoft's deal may impact competition in the industry. Microsoft announced its $68.7 billion acquisition on January 18th earlier in the year, which would see Activision Blizzard Entertainment and King brought into the Xbox Game Studios fold. Since then, regulatory bodies have been investigating the supposed merger, with judgments ostensibly still pending. Brazil recently approved the deal, criticizing Sony's foray into discussion, which saw the competitor argue that the potential for Microsoft to turn industry-defining franchises exclusive, such as Call of Duty, was anti-consumer. Brazil disagreed, citing that both Sony and Microsoft have used exclusivity profusely in order to attract customers. However, the UK Competition and Markets Authority has found Sony's argument more convincing, expressing concerns in an issue statement that the regulatory body released last week. Including in the issue statement was a detailed account of not only the processes being undertaken by every concern the CMA had regarding the acquisition. They listed findings include that the merged entity would have significant upstream market power in publishing of games for consoles, and that there are a few, if any, alternative franchises with Call of Duty's level of brand awareness and popularity among gamers. The CMA recently published guidance on its website as a follow-up, which invites anyone, including members of the public, to share their views with us. Once the regulatory body has finished gathering and analyzing evidence, it is set to have hearings with 2 relevant parties. Subsequently offering provisional findings to the public will once again have their say. The video game industry broadly has expressed cautious optimism towards Microsoft's buyout, with sentiment likely biased in favor of the merger due to recent reputational damage that Activision Blizzard has suffered. On July 20th, 2021, California Department of Fair Employment and Housing filed a lawsuit against Activision Blizzard following a 2-year investigation that alleged the existence of a frat boy workplace culture which saw women abused and harassed at the company for years. An already faltering attitude towards Activision Blizzard plummeted to new depths, and the following months witnessed walkouts, further stories of abuse, and attempts at unionization in a poorly organized industry. Many attributed Microsoft's buyout to have been the result of this lawsuit and allegations against Activision Blizzard. Now, what's interesting here is we're starting to see with the Xbox owner using this as an opportunity to acquire the struggling publisher for a lower price. Gamers are believed that Microsoft oversight could offer Activision Blizzard employees an improved work environment, a sentiment supported by those engaging in unionization efforts at the company. In more recent developments, the Blizzard's Diablo Q&A staff have won the right to unionize, with ballots expected to be out in a week or so. So we continually see that, it looks like it's going to be a good thing for Microsoft and Sony to, kind of work this out. I wish that they would just get this over with. It's kind of clear that Sony is pretty afraid to lose out with some of this. And, listen, I do think that it's silly for them to really kind of be afraid, because there's so much going on and they care so much about exclusivity. How could they dog Microsoft for wanting exclusivity, right? Like, it doesn't matter kind of how you go about it, in my opinion. It's really all about, if you do it or not. I mean, and if all this stuff turns out to be true, like, look, Silent Hill, those games, the remakes or whatever, those are timed exclusive. Final Fantasy, timed exclusive. These games are all, timed. Sony's buying all this stuff, and again, it's not really, it's not really something that's going to continue to, limit them. I don't understand how this is going to be something that continuously happens or whatever. But again, very strange to see this. I think this is good news for Microsoft, because clearly they're like, we don't know much about this games industry. Honestly, going to the third best or third biggest game company from where they're at now is not some death strike or death blow to Sony or PlayStation, even if they were to pull the games off, which again, I think that they should pull some of them out and make them exclusive, and that's the whole reason for buying it. Look what Disney did. They pulled the Marvel stuff off Netflix, right? That's not anti-consumer. That's not anything. That's just their property. They're trying to grow their service, and so that's what they did. Anyway, let me know what you guys think. I'm going to link this in the description below. Check it out. Rack 'em up, fact 'em up, Crap Gamer 'em up. Thanks for watching. Crap Gamer out.